couple of days ago, Philadelphia police officer Jesse Hartnett was seriously wounded by a man claiming allegiance to the Islamic State. He sustained 3 gunshot wounds to his upper body, a very serious one to his upper left arm. He had the intestinal fortitude to get out of his unit, chase him down, discharge his weapon, and take the suspect into custody. There's a wise saying for cops that says this: the use of force should be the last resort, but as the only recourse, it just might be the first recourse. And that was the condition for Jesse. It was his first recourse to take this person into custody. But I want to share a thought from you from the Bible. Do you know that using deadly force is okay? Did you know that the Bible talks about that it's okay for law enforcement officers in the United States and across the world to use that force necessary to take that person into custody? As a matter of fact, California Penal Code Section 197 or New York Penal Code Section 3530 both allow that. So if they allow that, is there a higher source? Yes. I want to read Romans chapter 13, verse 4, and just something to think about it for the rest of your day today. It says this in Romans chapter 13, verse 4, for he is God's servant. That's the law enforcement officer. For he is God's servant to you for good, but if you do wrong, be afraid, for he does not bear the sword for nothing. He is God's servant, an agent of wrath to bring punishment on the wrongdoer. You catch that? He's God's servant. That's the law enforcement officer today. And if those who do wrong, they should be afraid, because the law enforcement officer doesn't bear the sword, or modern language or translation, doesn't bear the firearm. He doesn't bear the firearm in vain. So the bottom line is when Jesse goes out there, anyone has to use deadly force, they're doing God's job. The purpose of using deadly force or any force necessary is to take that person before a judge to let the judge deal with them. Just something else for you to consider today as you go back on your job. Remember, blessed is a peacemaker, for he shall be called the Son of God.